So the video that I chose is by an artist called Skip Bloomberg, who was a member of a collective that was active in the 70s called TV. They were sort of a bit of an activist video collective who were interested in doing media interventions, and they were quite political, but a lot of really interesting video artists emerged from that collective and that scene, and Skip Bloomberg was one of them, who went on to be a sort of grassroots community filmmaking or video making activist and documentary maker. So he's still currently active. He has a hilariously bad website, which is worth taking a look at just for how gloriously inept it is, and how it completely resists any form of design or slickness whatsoever. But yeah, the video that I've chosen is called Pick Up Your Feet, which is about double dutch and a big double dutch skipping competition in New York one summer, and it follows this group of girls who are competing, and it talks to their coach, and it talks to, you know, lots of different competitors in the competition about what they're, you know, the build up to the competition and what they're hoping to achieve. And it's really funny, but it's also just an incredible slice of life, which I think is something that video does particularly well. So why do I love this video? Which is really a documentary and not so much a piece of video art, but I guess that's one of the reasons I love it, because it reminds me of the connection between video art and documentary practice, which I feel is a connection which has kind of been lost as documentary's been subsumed into, you know, particularly video documentary's been kind of subsumed into the film industry and the television industry, and become tied up with industry concerns. And it actually came out of a real activist video practice, and you know, it kind of lives in community practice now, but back in those days I think the line between, you know, video artist and filmmaker was a little bit more blurred, and I think videos like this are really interesting because of that. You know, and I also like it because I used to be a double dutch whiz when I was in primary school. I was mad keen for the skipping rope, and spent every single lunchtime for probably a couple of years obsessively honing my double dutch skills. So on a content level, I really enjoy this film because it reminds me of that kind of single-minded obsession that adolescent girls can develop for an activity, and really pour all their time and passion into this activity and build themselves up to a level where they're actually achieving this incredibly complex and intricate and creative and expressive activities, whether it's, you know, sport or art or whatever it is they're doing. I think there's something about the adolescent female mind and its obsessiveness that is expressed really well in Pick Up Your Feet. Because these girls are serious, like they are serious girls. They're not messing around. They want to win. They want to kick some butt, and they are, you know, they know how good they are. And, you know, I often just think, like, what are they doing now, and do they look back on this time that's depicted in the film, you know, and laugh? Do they laugh at how serious they were, or do they still kind of, you know, ruin, you know, mistakes that were made? And, you know, I wonder if they realise how amazing that moment in their life was, because I think it's pretty amazing, and I think it's kind of an interesting demonstration of women's culture as well, and how women tend to make things that should be quite simple, like skipping rope. They take these simple activities and they make them infinitely more complex and intricate than they really need to be. And I'm interested in that idea, so I think Pick Up Your Feet kind of demonstrates that beautifully. The other thing I like about it, talking about, you know, video and its ability to capture a slice of life, is that I just feel like when I'm watching a video of something from 1981 or 1975 or 1993, I feel it's so transporting in a way that film can never be. When I'm watching film, I always feel like I'm looking at an object. I'm always aware of the object of film. Whereas with video, there's this immateriality which is just completely kind of magical to me. It feels like I'm you know, peering through a hole in time is how it feels to me when I watch this video. That I feel like, you know, he's taken a little part of that day and brought it into the present. And I think only video can do that. Something about the, you know, I'm sure other people can explain it to me, the way that you know, the image is rendered is different to film, but yeah, I really love it. I guess finally, the final thing that I love about Pick Up Your Feet is that for me, it really makes me think about the power of the medium of video, in the way that anyone can pick up a video and document their life and their culture and their, you know, the things that are going on in their neighbourhood. Even though this video was made by, you know, a video artist, the legacy of people like Skip Bloomberg is that, you know, you look on YouTube now and Google Double Dutch, and there are hundreds of videos of people who have, you know, filmed their own competitions and interviews with their friends after competitions in their neighbourhoods. And for me, that's very powerful. And I think it's really interesting that there's so much hand-wringing and angst about, you know, whether everyone should be able to make films or not, and the democratisation of media kind of dumbing down art. And I just think that's all bullshit. And I think it's, you know, for me, how can it possibly be wrong or bad for people to be able to, you know, insert themselves into the media in this way? How could that possibly be bad for people to have their own voice through the media? Yeah, and so for me, Pick Up Your Feet is sort of one of those early videos that demonstrated how powerful the medium was, how easy and accessible and plastic that medium was for people to be able to, you know, how portable and how kind of inobtrusive as a medium, as a crew going around capturing things and documenting aspects of culture that other people may not have been aware of or have ever seen. I think that's had a huge impact on, you know, everything from you know, art to popular culture. I love Skip Bloomberg for that reason, that he was part of that legacy and part of that history, and you know, he was just one of these kind of obsessive documenters who throughout his whole life he has just gone out and captured things that he found interesting and that he noticed, and he still does that now. He's still doing it, and that inspires me a lot in my own work as well.